Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of Kit Conspiracy. And this is my regular day for Kit Conspiracy, and it is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. I hope you have a wonderful day if you are watching today. And if you're watching later, I hope you had a wonderful day. And if you're not in the US, I still hope you had a wonderful day. So anyway, I'm starting out with the striped paper from the Alina collection from 49th and Market. And this window was in the ephemera pack, and I was trying to figure out what to do with it, and so I decided I'm going to make it look kind of like a window out to a garden, or maybe a stained glass window, whichever way you want to look at it. So I took one of the rub-ons from the 12 by 12 rub-on package, and I went ahead and put them on this piece of paper that is going to go behind the window. I basically, as you saw there, took the window and I traced around it, and then I cut my white paper just slightly smaller. And now I'm going to go ahead and rub this rub-on right onto it. And these rub-ons go on really easily. They're very... they don't go on as soon as you touch to the paper, but they go on relatively easily. You don't have to rub very hard or very long to make them stick. And I think they do a really good job. So I'm liking the way that is looking. I'm just going to rub on the excess pieces that were coming off of the edge, so that they go back onto the paper, because, why not waste it? Why not use it and not waste it? Oh my goodness. And then I put the window back over the front, and I really like the way that it looks. In case you're wondering what I'm doing there with my hands, I was on a Zoom call with some friends, so I was probably chatting and talking with my hands. I did pull the, actually the window might have come, I'm pretty sure the window came from the laser cut dies. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it came from the laser cut elements pack, and so did that greenery. And so I'm layering up that greenery right behind, so it looks like you're seeing some greenery out the window as well as the floral. And I like the way that looks, but the green on top of the teal was not standing out quite enough for my liking. So I took my Dylusions white linen paint, and I've had mine for ages, so it comes in this large squatty round pot. Doesn't come like that anymore. It comes in a squeeze bottle. So if you are looking for it, that's what you're going to get these days. And then I am just marking where my elements are going, because I'm going to go ahead and dry brush some of the white paint onto these areas so that my elements stand out just a little bit better. So I'm basically just taking my dry paintbrush, I'm tapping off the excess paint, and I'm just using a very little bit. I'm using mostly from the lid, because the lid has just a little bit in it. It doesn't have very much at all, and as I keep using it up, I'm just basically kind of re-wetting my paintbrush, if you will. It's not really picking up a ton of paint. It's just tiny bits, and if I end up getting a big blob of it, I kind of want that hidden. I don't want it to show. I am going to kind of smooth out the lines so they're not quite so bold here, kind of fade them out a bit, and I like the way that it's looking. And then I will add some additional white paint in some different areas just to kind of fade out and make it look like it is supposed to be there. I'm not sure I do the perfect job of that, but it looks good enough for me. So I could have probably faded it out just a tiny bit more, but I really like the way that it ends up looking, so I'm not going to even worry about it, and I don't want to mess it up. I don't want any of those, I don't want to like lose all of the diagonal stripes or anything by covering it up too much. And it does look much better when you put the elements on the paper rather than just just the white paint on the paper. So I'm liking how that's looking so far. Again, I'm going to fade it out just a tiny bit more, or add a little bit more white paint here and there, just to kind of make it blend a little bit better with the look that I have going on. So just again, dry brushing. I'm not adding any water to my paintbrush. I don't want to add a bunch of liquid to the paper. I don't want it to buckle. I don't want to create like a mess of any sort. I just want to kind of very subtly have this white faded look. So I'm liking how that looks a lot better. I probably could have done a little bit better job in the area right around where the photos go, but that's okay. It looks good enough for me. And then I have this grayish paper. I'm going to call it grayish. It's kind of brownish gray, but it happens to match that window frame very well. And this paper is a really old paper from Ellie Studio, and I don't know what collection. I want to say Penelope, but I could be wrong. But at any case, it is super old, so probably not even available. And then I'm going to go ahead and just stack my 2 photos up here. And these 2 photos are of some glass artwork that was at the Milwaukee Museum of Art. The bottom pieces are from artists Dominic Libino and Fritz Dreisbach. And I don't know that those names would mean anything to you, but they are not Dominic Libino. Sorry, Harvey Littleton and Fritz Dreisbach. And the reason that I have those in there and it means something to me or my husband is because his father was also a glass artist. He was a internationally known glass blower, and these were people that he knew. And so it's always interesting to see their work in places like museums and such, because my husband and his family knew them. And so that's why it's special. And then that top piece, I don't know who made it. I don't even have it photographed what the person's name was, but I just liked the colors of it. So I took a picture of that, and oddly, it matches this collection perfectly. It's got those reds and the teals and the blues, and so I was like, oh my gosh, that piece is so pretty. And I'll probably go on their website and find out who it is made by so that I can make a note of that. And then we'll go ahead and have that written down so that I can keep track of it. So anyway, I decided to go ahead and do a little bit of layering behind the top photo there, just to give a few bits and pieces of ephemera and some additional interest over there. My title, I ended up going through my acrylic pieces from Color Cast Designs because I've got a lot of it in my stash. I haven't been using it as much as I need to be using it because I have a subscription, and so they are starting to pile up, and I'm trying to get them used. So I end up finding one that says, here's the story. And so I'm basically going to write what I've already just told you about these artists. And then I will probably I'm going to do my journaling at the bottom of the layout. I'm going to be adding some stuff down at the bottom that's going to give me a journaling area, because I was sitting here playing with those 2 cards trying to figure out how to get them in and create a journaling area next to my photographs. But because I have the photo and the window there centered on the page, it really kind of started to make the page look off kilter, because I would have had to add it to the right hand side or the left hand side of the photos. And so I just decided I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something different. And once I found the acrylic piece, it really kind of helped me decide what I was going to do. The paper that I am backing my 2 photos with is a piece from Coco Vanilla Studio. I'm not exactly sure which collection, probably maybe Unforgettable, but I don't know right off the top of my head. But that turquoise butterfly matches this collection very well. So I went ahead and gutted the paper just to get that turquoise butterfly. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that in with the ephemera from this collection. Now I took the branding strip off the top, and I'm going to add it to the bottom of the layout. And that makes it look a little more centered top to bottom, because it was looking like it was everything was a little bit on the high side. But now it's going to look like it should, because I have now taken a quarter or a half inch off the bottom of that turquoise stripe and added that branding strip. So it brings everything up a little bit from the bottom, making it look like the stuff in the center of the page is not really too high. So there's my acrylic piece, trying to figure out where I'm going to put it. Still trying to figure out where I'm going to put this journaling, and I didn't really like the way that that looked, because it made my pictures too high on the layout. I liked them right next to the window, and so I decided I'm going to take this card. I cut it down a bit and inked it up with some black soot distress ink, and I'm tucking it in behind that branding strip, and that is where my journaling is going to go. And again, I have now closed in the gap between the focus of my layout and the bottom of the paper, so that my journaling can go there, but now everything doesn't look like it's too high on the page. So that was my goal anyway. Just making sure my photos are lined up. And then my title is going to stay basically where it's at. And I know it looks like it is hard to read up there, but it really isn't. In real life, it is easy to read. And I like the color of it, because it actually matches that center flower kind of. There's some, and the leaves coming off of it, they kind of really go well with that acrylic piece. I did not take the paper backing off the acrylic piece, because I didn't want it to be any more see-through than it already was. It is semi-transparent, and if I remove that backing, you're going to see more of the stripes. It's going to blend in more, and I didn't want that to happen, so I just left the backing off of it, and I'm going to use my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere it down. And then I found some fiber that I had in one of my bins here, and it matches very well too. It's got the teals and the kind of creamy colors. Put that on the tag that is going up above the photos. I like the way that that's looking. And then I'm going to add that green tab there, just so I can put the date or just some other note. Maybe I will put the artist's name on it for that top piece. And I'm bringing that green down over to where the bottom of the window is, just adding another little focal point of the reddish pink flowers, and bringing that down again to my journaling area. So now I've kind of brought that everything into each area. The tag has that reddish pink flower on it, just like the two other embellishment areas do, and I like the way that that all kind of goes together. I'm also adding that green little phrase piece to the bottom embellishment area, so I can bring that color down there, and that just says the best time, and I'm liking the way that that looks. So I've got the green in all three areas and that flower in all three areas. So now I'm going to pull off a little bit of the backing just to kind of see what it looks like. And I pulled it off the S there. You can see it's kind of got lost a little bit. And so I just decided to leave it on and use my glue to go ahead and adhere everything down. And I like how that's looking. And then I decided to add a little butterfly to the upper left hand corner of the photographs. First I'm going to ink everything up with some black soot distress ink just all the way around the edge to give it a nice border and kind of finish it off, and I like the way that that looks. Making sure I've got my acrylic straight before it completely dries. It was just the tiniest bit off. Just a hair. I am actually popping the tips of these leaves up onto some foam. The entire leaf stalk, not each individual leaf, just to give a little bit of added dimension. And while I put this rub-on onto some paper here and fussy cut it out, I wanted to take a moment to remind you that MK has a video for you today as well. So go and check out what she has going on her channel. I'm really looking forward to seeing what her layout is. We have inadvertently been doing things very similarly, maybe not the exact layout, but last week we both used mushrooms on the same day. We've done double pagers on the same day and such. So I'm interested to see if we have things in common this week also. So I decided to put that butterfly there, but then I realized I really like this little frame. So I pulled the butterfly off and it looks like a metal frame. I'm going to put some white paper behind it, and I'm going to mount the butterfly inside of it. And I really like how that looks. It also brings that peachy creamy color up into this corner. It's already in the center of the florals, and it's a good match because the center of it kind of pulls in the same colors as the title. The title is a little bit more yellow than the butterfly, but it's in that same kind of peachy family. So I really like the way that it's looking. I am adding a few sequins just to add some sparkle to each one of the embellishments areas. I'm just doing like a visual triangle around each one of those individual embellishment areas, and that's going to just finish it off really nicely, hopefully. And my sequins are kind of like a tealy green. And that is it, you guys. I really like the added dimension in that window, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. If you have questions or comments, as always, leave them down below. I will get back to you. I am a little bit behind right now in responding, but I do read every single one and I do respond. It just takes me a little bit of time to do it. If you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe as well. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys again Saturday with another video for Kit Conspiracy. I'll probably have, and I have one tomorrow for Mixed Media Mayhem. See you then. Bye-bye.